It's the height of summer and I'm down on the farm near Shrewsbury in a field of organic quinoa. This is the third time we've actually grown organic quinoa on this farm specifically. They do it really, really well within this microclimate, so I was really keen to have another go this year at producing it here. And overall, we're actually finding really good demand for the organic British quinoa grains. So we've increased the area that we're producing this year up to 150 acres overall, which is quite a lot for us really. And I'm hoping that we'll be able to continue expanding that next year. And it's nice to be able to come down here to have a look to see what the crops are doing today. The stage we're at the moment is what we call grain filling, where the flowering stage is now completely finished and we're starting to actually find the quinoa grains forming within the head. So if you very gently pick one of the grains out and unfold it from all the flour material, you can actually start to find the nice little grains on your hand. And they're still quite small and they're quite watery, but they're there, so it's a very good sign of what's to come for the rest of the year. Obviously, the biggest difference between an organic and a conventional production system is that you're not allowed to use any pesticide whatsoever within the organic production system. But that's not actually any different to what we do within our conventional crops anyway, because we chose to exclude pesticides because we didn't feel that they fitted within the healthy nature of the crop. However, the biggest difference for us with this being an organic crop is that we've got to get all of the nitrogen, which quinoa loves so much for growth, we have to get all of that from an organic source. And within this field, we actually grew clover the year before, and the clover is really good for fixing atmospheric nitrogen into a form that the crop itself is able to take up for growth and reproduction. Additionally, with this being a beef farm, we've got copious amounts of manure and muck that we're able to spread and incorporate into the soil to help provide extra nitrogen for this crop. I think it's working out quite well so far. As you actually look across the crop, it certainly doesn't look hungry for nitrogen, which is a very positive sign that we should get a good yield off it come this autumn. It's always nice to be able to show off the very best of our crops, but even I have to admit that not every single field we grow is absolutely perfect. The biggest issue that we've got in here right at the moment is a weed called fat hen, and fat hen is very, very closely related to quinoa. So the actual full name of quinoa is Chenopodium quinoa, and the full name for fat hen is Chenopodium album. So you can see from the name they're actually very closely related, and that means they also really like the same growing conditions as well. So whenever quinoa grows, fat hen likes to grow as well, and it's constantly a battle between the two. And the fat hen, you can always see it because it stands a little bit taller than the quinoa. The fat hen is not really that big a problem. Yeah, of course it's going to reduce our yield somewhat and maybe make it a little bit trickier to harvest the overall crop, but I think for us it's a fairly low level problem that we're able to manage fairly effectively. To me this looks like it's going to be ready for harvest in September time, which is actually going to tie in really nicely with the Organic September month, which aims to promote organic food and drink throughout the UK. So I'm going to be back here in a couple of months' time as the combines start to roll.